A sensation on the first day of TEFAF during the early access. In 4 different booths we can see 4 paintings of Van Gogh. We never saw that before, even not at TEFAF in Maastricht. Van Gogh, but this one is not from his Dutch period.
Yes, so this one was painted in the spring of 1887. So Van Gogh moved to Paris toward the end of 1886 and moved in with his brother Theo, who was a successful art dealer in Paris. And so for the first time, he is seeing the Impressionists. And not only the Impressionists like Monet and Pissarro, whom he met, but 1886 was the last Impressionist exhibition, and it was the year that the Pointillists first began showing their work. The Dutch period, of course, is much more darker and with a lot of gray and brown, like the famous potato eaters. But here, he's lightening his palette, and he's experimenting with different color combinations, with complementary colors like the red and the green, which he knew both from the work of Delacroix, who was a great hero, but also the Pointillists. There were lots of discussions about color theory at that time.
Was it a surprise for you that this year there are even 4 Van Goghs at the fair?
Yes, it was a surprise because he had such a short career. Yeah. They're extremely rare. So to have 4 in one building was a surprise. But that is what is wonderful about TEFAF, these pleasant surprises. Most dealers don't coordinate with other dealers, so it's just a happy accident. But it gives collectors an opportunity to see a group of different works by the same artist.
Different periods of Van Gogh, so also different price levels, no?
Yes, I mean, generally, the later the work, the more expensive. So the ones that bring 50 or 100 or 150 million tend to be from the last 2 years of his life.
This is one of his first period in Holland?
Yes, this is from his Neuenn period, when he was staying with his parents in Neuenn. He had to go to his parents. He didn't have any money to live anywhere else. And although his relationship at this time with his parents wasn't probably the best, he stayed there and he had a few pupils. And what happened was he was teaching his pupils still life. But most of them couldn't do the complex still lifes. So he was testing himself at this time as to how complex a still life he could do. So he chose various of the most difficult items to make a composition with. And he wrote to his brother Theo and said, with whom he did not have a particularly good relationship at this time, he wrote to him and said, "I'm making you a wonderful still life." And he made 13 of the still lives, this being one of the most complex. And 10 of them are now in museums, and this is one of the 3 that is not in a museum.
Where did you get it?
It comes from a private collection, and it was sold at auction in 1968, and since then it has remained in a private collection.
Yeah. And it's not of a period with the most extreme prices of Van Gogh?
No. No. But it's a very important period, and it's just before he goes to Paris, and we have to think in the range of 3.5 million euros.
Driven by coal mining until the 1970s, The province of Limburg has once again reinvented itself. It is doing this by connecting regional strengths and focus, and the drive to meet the challenges dominating national and international agendas. Recent figures from CBS TNO show that this focus leads to a significant growth in employment. The heart of this innovation-driven resurrection is located around the 4 Brightlands campuses. The triple helix that comes together here is the driving force propelling the region forward. Brightlands stands for innovation and connecting excellence across boundaries. The initiative's strength lies in the combination of individual expertise and the innovative power of a community. Every day, 20,000 entrepreneurs, researchers and students work on finding sustainable and future-oriented solutions, and this number is growing every day. They don't work on their own, but are constantly in search of places where the challenges and solutions from a variety of fields meet. They share knowledge, but also modern research laboratories, equipment, pilot plants, offices, and meeting rooms. This leads to new knowledge institutes, education, talent, and startups. Waste reduction, cultured meat, imaging, blockchain and indoor farming. These are just a few examples of themes Brightlands is working on. The world is on the brink of unprecedented challenges and transitions. This is why we bring together innovations in chemistry and materials, health, nutrition and smart services and unite them all under one name, Brightlands. And then new opportunities arise again for science, talent and entrepreneurship. This is how this region is growing, in optimism, opportunities and prosperity. For the Netherlands, for the world.